You meet her, and the connection isn't just good, it's intoxicating. It feels like you've known each other for years. The chemistry is off the charts, the conversations keep you up until 3 a.m., and she looks at you like you are the only man on earth. You finally think to yourself, this is it. I found the one. But then, the ground falls out from under you. The exact same woman who couldn't get enough of you yesterday is suddenly distant. She's cold. She's leaving you on red, or she's picking devastating fights over absolutely nothing. You panic. You try to fix it. You apologize when you didn't even do anything wrong. You ride these extreme euphoric highs and these soul-crushing lows, and you tell yourself, this is just how passionate love is. We just need to get back to how it was in the beginning. Welcome. Today, we need to have a very real, very uncomfortable conversation. If you find yourself repeatedly stuck in this exact cycle, where you feel addicted to a woman who drains you, or you keep attracting partners who bring chaos into your peace, you aren't unlucky in love, and you aren't broken. You are caught in a trauma bond, and until you understand the exact psychology of what this is, your relationships will keep failing in the exact same way. Stay with me until the end of this episode, because I am going to show you exactly how this trap works, why she does it, and the only way you can break out of it to finally get your life back. Let's start by clearing up the biggest misconception on the internet right now. A trauma bond is not when two people bond over shared trauma. It's not about you and a partner staying up late, talking about your difficult childhoods, and falling in love because you both have scars. No, a trauma bond is a psychological addiction. It is a deep, agonizing attachment created by repeated cycles of devaluation and positive reinforcement. It's a dynamic where the person causing you the most pain becomes the exact same person you run to for comfort. As a man, society conditions you to be the rock, the protector, the fixer. And this is exactly why the trauma bond trap is so incredibly dangerous for you. When a woman with unresolved psychological wounds pulls away, your masculine instinct is to step up, to fix the problem, to save the relationship. But in doing so, you are walking blindfolded into a psychological snare. To understand why you can't just walk away from a toxic relationship, we have to look at your brain. We have to look at the neuroscience of intermittent reinforcement. I want you to imagine a slot machine at a casino. If you sit down, pull the lever, and lose your money every single time, you get up and walk away. If you pull the lever and win the jackpot every single time, eventually you get bored and walk away. But what if you pull the lever and win sometimes? Randomly, unpredictably. You have no idea when the reward is coming, but you know it's possible. You will sit at that machine until you are bankrupt. Your brain becomes obsessed with the unpredictability. This is exactly what is happening to you in a trauma bond. In the beginning, the phase psychologists call love bombing, she gave you all the validation in the world. You felt seen, respected, and deeply desired. Your brain was flooded with dopamine and oxytocin. You felt like a king. But then comes the devaluation. She withdraws. She criticizes the way you dress, the way you speak, your ambition. She gives you the silent treatment. Suddenly, your brain is flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone. You go into a state of absolute panic. What did I do wrong? How do I get her to look at me the way she used to? And then, just when you are about to break, she throws you a breadcrumb. A sweet text, a moment of intense physical intimacy, tearful apologies. And boom, the dopamine rushes back in. The relief is euphoric. Over time, your brain stops associating this woman with love. It associates her with survival. You literally become chemically addicted to the cycle of pain and relief. You start confusing extreme anxiety with extreme passion. You start believing that a healthy, calm, consistent relationship is boring because it doesn't trigger that massive cortisol dopamine roller coaster. This is why your friends look at you and say, "Man, why don't you just leave her? She treats you terribly." And you can't explain it to them. Because logically, you know they are right, but neurologically, you are an addict trying to walk away from your substance. Now, let's look at this through the lens of female psychology. Why does she do this? Is she an evil mastermind sitting in a dark room plotting to destroy your self-esteem? Usually no. In most cases, the woman on the other side of a trauma bond is acting out of her own deep-seated defense mechanisms. Often, she has what psychologists call an anxious-avoidant or disorganized attachment style. Here is the heartbreaking paradox of this psychological profile. She desperately craves intimacy, but she is utterly terrified of it. When things are going well, when you are consistent, loving, communicative, and safe, it triggers her subconscious alarms. Peace feels extremely dangerous to her because, in her past, the calm was always just the quiet before the storm. So what does she do? She creates the storm herself. She picks a fight out of nowhere. She triangulates you with an ex. She GD'k away for days. She does this to test you. Subconsciously, she is asking, are you going to abandon me like everyone else did? Let me push you as hard as I can and see if you fight for me. And here, right here, is where the trap snaps shut on you. Because you are a man who wants to provide stability, you fight for her. You absorb her chaos. You tolerate the disrespect, thinking that your unconditional love will eventually heal her. You think, if I just show her I'm not going to leave, no matter what she does, she will finally feel safe, but she doesn't. Because you can never, ever love someone out of their trauma. By tolerating the disrespect, by staying when she treats you poorly, you aren't showing her that you are safe. You are showing her that you lack boundaries. And in female psychology, a lack of boundaries does not create love. It creates contempt. She will eventually lose respect for the very man who stayed to save her. Which brings us to the hardest truth of this entire podcast. Let's turn the mirror around. Let's talk about you. Why did you stay? It's very easy to point the finger at the toxic partner, but a trauma bond requires two people. If you are a man who constantly finds himself in these dynamics, we have to talk about your savior complex. Many men tie their masculine worth to their utility. We think, if I can fix her, if I can save her from her demons, she will never leave me. I will be indispensable. But this is just codependency wearing a mask of nobility. Focusing on her chaos is a fantastic distraction, isn't it? If you are spending all your energy trying to decode her mixed signals, trying to manage her moods, and trying to keep the relationship afloat, you don't have to own life. You don't have to look at your own emptiness, your own lack of purpose, or your own fear of abandonment. Gigi stayed in the trauma bond because fixing her problems distracted you from facing your own. So, how do we end this? How do you break a bond that feels stronger than your own willpower? Step 1. You have to implement absolute, non-negotiable no contact. I don't mean just not texting her. I mean blocking her number, blocking her on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Do not ask her friends about her. Remember the slot machine? Remember the neuroscience we talked about? You cannot heal a drug addiction if you are keeping a little bit of the drug in your pocket, just in case. No contact isn't about punishing her. It is a neurological necessity. You have to starve the dopamine cycle so your brain's baseline chemistry can reset. You have to grieve the illusion. This is the hardest part. You are going to miss her terribly. But I want you to ask yourself, are you missing the woman who treated you like an option? Who drained your energy and who disrespected your boundaries? Or are you missing the idea of who she was in the first 3 weeks? You have to mourn the potential of the relationship and radically accept the reality of what it actually was. And finally, step 3. You must rebuild your foundation of self-respect. The next time you meet a woman and she gives you the silent treatment, or she tests you by pulling away, you do not chase her. You do not try to fix it. You stand firm in your boundaries and you say, I do not participate in games. When you do that, the women who thrive on toxic drama will naturally filter themselves out of your life. And the women who are actually capable of peace, loyalty, and true partnership will finally be able to find you. Healing from a trauma bond is one of the hardest things you will ever do as a man. You are going to go through withdrawals. You are going to have nights where you want to break and reach out. Don't. On the other side of this fire is a version of you who demands respect, protects his peace at all costs, and builds a life that actually lasts. If this episode opened your eyes today, hit the subscribe button. We are going to be diving much deeper into the dark psychology of relationships in the next video, and you are not going to want to miss it. Stay strong, protect your peace, and I will see you in the next one.